Okay, it started. So, would you like to shed some light on this situation?
Yeah, that's fine. And then I just tell, about my stuff, in the business.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Go ahead. How'd you start? Yikes. I'm gonna wait a few minutes, see if he calls back. For all I know, his phone could have died or something. That's not Eric Nelson, that's a referee who saw the situation. Apparently there was something that happened in Dudley, Georgia. Yeah?
Sorry about that. This is really spanky. The call dropped, so I apologize.
It's okay, I've had situations like that, happen to me.
So we on live right now?
No, I always pre-record this and then upload it to YouTube.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Just,
yeah, because live doesn't seem to work with me. I've tried it before.
Okay, well, that's no problem. Just tell me, when you're ready, and I'll go from there.
So were you there for that situation that happened in Dudley, Georgia?
Yes.
Would you like to shed some light on it?
Yes, no problem at all. I was booked by Mr. Well, I won't say a Mr. I'll call him a prick. But I was booked by him 2 to 3 months ago about coming down, and I got what I wanted to be paid, and no problem at all. But about 3 weeks before the event, before last night happened, I really did in some thinking that with all these names that he got for this event, why in the hell will you run this show in a small town that nobody don't know? Something's gonna go down. But I didn't know it was gonna go down like this. So here's what happened. About halfway through the fan fest, because from 12 to 9, to me it was too long for an autograph signing. It should have been 12 to 3, and then maybe a first time maybe in a long time, a 5 o'clock bell time. Because you had all the fans there. That they saw what they wanted to see, and they probably have just jumped in their car and left. All right. Through halfway through the autograph signing, because I was sitting with a buddy of mine that was selling his gimmicks, and I was getting pumped for the show. All right. All of a sudden, I see Arn Anderson and Greg start having some bad words. And Arn Anderson, I don't know what vehicle they was in, but Arn Anderson took his car keys or car and went to took the guy somewhere. So one of the wrestlers told me that.
Hey, I think Eric Nelson's calling as well.
Okay, so we want me to do? Hold on.
Morge.
You there?
Yeah.
Okay. Did other guy call in?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. All right, fellas, y'all ready to do this?
Yeah.
Oh, so you want me to start over again? Okay.
You could just start from where you left off, unless Eric wants you to start over. You know.
Okay. Well,
ladies and gentlemen, this is Chris Emerson. He was at the Double Sports Entertainment Legendsfest last night. He's going to get his recount of his experiences there, and then I'll chime in. Go ahead, Mr. Emerson.
Okay, well, I do really appreciate y'all having me. I've been doing this wrestling business for 17 years, and last night won't probably be the only time that me and Otto to get screwed on paid. But last night was a moment that I will always remember. But here's what my deal was. About 2-3 months ago, Greg found me. I didn't found him. Asked me would I come last night, the rest of the show, because he held good things. And he seemed like, at first, a good guy. But 3 weeks ago, I was on my lunch break at my job, and I was just looking at the card, and I was just looking at all the names that was on this. I was thinking, how did hell he's going to pay for everybody and run in a small town? So I knew at that time, I knew that something was going to go down, but I didn't realize it would go down like it has last night.
Right.
Okay. When everything went down like it did, the halfway to from 12 to 5, in my opinion, that was way too damn long for a fan fest autographs. They should have ended it at 3 o'clock and then get 2 hours to clean up, because when the fan fest, the autographs was at, that was going to be the referee and the wrestlers. That was going to be all in the dressing room that night. So they could have to have a 5 o'clock bell time, because all the fans was there last night. Okay, halfway through the signing, because I was sitting with the wrestler at his gimmick table, and we see Arn Anderson and Greg having some words. So the guy basically said, I didn't have no money right there to pay everybody. So I don't know what vehicle they left in. I saw the vehicle, but Arn Anderson took the keys and took him in his car, and they just went off somewhere. Well, 45 minutes, Greg came back and started paying everybody with a damn paycheck. And
right. I understand he wrote several checks last night.
Yeah, he sure did. But I stopped him when he came up to me and asked me for my name. And what I was promised, I stopped him. And I looked him in the eyes and I said, look, I've been doing this a long time. I don't got time for this. But I ain't going to use some of the cuss words that I say, so I just keep it clean. But I say it's a crying shame that you say you don't have no money now. And I said, buddy, 24 hours on Friday, you say the bank is closed right now. 24 hours before the event, Friday night. Why, not Friday, why didn't you just go get all the money up front? And then you won't have to worry about not having no money to pay nobody today. So it just doesn't make sense. And I say, you're lucky. I said, I'm so mad that myself and others right now, we don't break your effing leg right now. And I I say being professional, thank God to some of the young talent that still wants to do the show for the fans that stay there. And no disrespect to the guys that asked me to stay. No disrespect to them or the fans that was there, that paid the hard money. No disrespect to them. But I got to go because I don't want to go to jail, and I don't want to be in the same building right now that knowing that you still gonna be in the building. So I'm gonna be professional, and I'm gonna leave. But on the bright side of it, though, I was invited by, I had my friend and his girlfriend, but we was invited to have dinner with Ole Anderson and his girlfriend. So on the bright side, I had dinner last night with Ole Anderson, and that was a highlight of my moment last night.
Oh, yeah, Ole truly is a class act and a college.
Here's another story. Here's what happened. When everything went down, I called a guy named Tony Arnold that's in charge of big time wrestling because he had Ricky Steamboat with him, and I let them know I was the first guy that they heard about this mess, and I told them about it. I said, you might want to call Greg and get your money or something before y'all get screwed. Because they was like 45 minutes away from the building, and they told me they appreciate it. And about 30 minutes later, Greg called me back and said that Aunt Anderson, told Wiki, and Tony told me to tell me, Spanky, do not take a check because it's going to bounce like crazy. But
absolutely.
But as of right now, I saw that that Greg Greene stole his mom and dad checkbook to pay the wrestlers. Now, so maybe some of it would go through, but maybe not all of it. But even the hotel of the building, they were stiff. And here's what I don't understand, okay? He was confronted by cops a lot of times last night. One at the building and one at the hotel.
Right.
And now here's a question I like to have to all law enforcement. If you confronted somebody about writing a bad check right then and there, I thought that Greg would go ahead and be arrested right then and there. But I didn't understand why he wasn't arrested right then and there. And then I just didn't, understand, that mess. And then, a lot of people can say what they want, about me or what, but I'm always professional. I'm always doing my job, but I still love whatever happened. What happened last night and the outcome of this. I'm still gonna love the wrestling business because if it wasn't for this business, I'll be doing drugs and bad stuff a long time ago. This business has helped me out a lot in my life.
Well, that's good.
But back to last night. There wasn't no flyer, no advertise, and
no, there sure wasn't. And
I just, did not understand. Here's a funny story that I got told today. You had 4 females on the card last night. But it was so funny that Totally Blanchard's daughter, Trace. I keep on saying her name wrong because my feet. But but his daughter and Sonny wanted to whoop that guy's ass. And I forgot that there was 5 too. Violet Sky, her too.
Yeah, Violet Sky. Yeah.
Yeah, they wanted to, and I thought that was old guy. He's gonna get beat up by a couple of ladies. So, but here's what I just thought. When everything went down like it did, I just didn't understand why he would come back to show his face. Yeah, as everything went down, and I just had to leave. I just had to leave without me going to jail. So, like I say, no disrespect to all the guys that stay there and the fans. I'm sorry. I'm assuming that you did. We did have a few referees there, and I'm glad that you get to take my side of the job and take the weight for that. I apologize, but I just could not be in that building no more, knowing that guy was still there. So, I just had to leave. And I told everybody why I left, and they all said they understand. So I just had to leave. And I've been doing this going on 17 years, and I have paid my dues. And I'm a very hard working referee. I don't care if I ask for a booking. Just tell me if you need me to be there, I'll be there. And the only thing I worry about, just tell me what matches you want me to be in, and I just go to the ring and do my job, and that's it. I don't try to hang out with the boys after the show or what. I just go there, do business, because the way I look at it, it's a business. It's not like a weekend hobby for people, because at one point in my life, 99.9% of my income for about 4 years came from building rings with Ted Allen and doing shows. So at one point, I was making a living doing, that's what we call the business. So I treat it as a day job. And here's my advice to all the promoters or anybody that wants to be a promoter. Always make sure that you have your money covered for everything. When you sit there and say, I got to pay this guy, make sure you have a list and make sure you have the money before you even put on the show, because you're wasting your time, you're wasting your security, wrestlers, referees, announcers, and most importantly, you're wasting the fans' time, because if it wasn't for the fans, there would be none of us. So give credit to the fans, and let's not let what happened last night kill the business even more. It probably had killed the town to ever want a wrestling show there again. But let's not let Greg win or keep on talking about him. Let's just use this as an example and get better. And here's another thing too that bothered me today is seeing some of the promoters and guys that wasn't even there. Even promoters try to I would do this, I would do that. But here's my opinion on it. If you feel that strong about it, why not team up with all the good promoters and good shows in Georgia, why y'all just team up instead of going against one another every week? Because now in Georgia, you have one show, and about 5 minutes or 20 minutes down the road, you might have another show running at the same time. So why not team up and run a wrestling show that's good? I mean, just like a couple years ago, I was checking out Wrestle Kingdom at a Tokyo, Japan, and you had a lot of people out there, you know, teaming up to run a big wrestling show. So I think that all promoters should just, good promoters should just team up and run, a wrestling show. So that's all I got to say about, everything, last night and,
Well, Mr. Emerson, we appreciate your side of the story. Thanks for coming on Forever Deathmatch, and you have a good evening. Cody, we'll continue this.
What? Y'all be safe, and y'all have a good evening. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir, Mr. Emerson. Have a great evening.
It was my pleasure to have you on.
All right, Cody, are we still on?
Yeah. Would you like to give your side?
Absolutely. Well, I was originally going to be a vendor at this event, and had even been contacted by Mr. Greene. And he basically swore up and down to me that he was going to have the money to pay everybody, that and everything else. And of course, as the car kept stacking up, I kept asking him, "Sure, you're going to have the money for this?" I was like, and on top of that, why are we running such a big show in a small building, right? So as things kept progressing, I started getting some tip-offs that guys still hadn't got their deposits and everything else, and that all of a sudden we were having to move to a smaller building. Well, he called me at midnight one night, wanting me to call Ronnie Garvin to vouch for him, and I said, "Well, honestly, I can't do that. I can't do that because I don't know you well enough to vouch for you. I can't say you're going to have this guy's money. I only do that for people that I work very closely with, and that I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that the money's going to be there."
Yeah, completely understandable.
Well, absolutely. Well, I know Ronnie Garvin was amongst those who didn't come because of that, and I'm glad he didn't. To those legends who stayed for the fans and for the boys, Paul Orndorff, you and I spoke earlier. My hat's off to you, sir. Zane Stevens, if you're listening, great job last night. I heard nothing but good things from fans and workers alike. Francisco Chiazzo, Stormy Sloan, good job. Way to keep things together out there. And for all of you guys that I missed, again, very good job. Great job of keeping it professional, keeping fans happy while we do this. I've heard many different reports on this. I had, several of my closest friends that spent their money to be there. And, they got shit out of their money and shit out of what was promised to them.
Not to mention...
And I'm still very livid about that. I just spoke with Tom Pritchard right before this broadcast, and he gave me the address to give the people that paid in for his signature. He's going to do his part to make it right, and I can tell you, Dr. Tom Pritchard is a consummate professional and truly an ambassador to this business. And I applaud him for that. There are others I have been unsuccessful in getting through with, but I'm going to continue trying to help those, mailed in items and paid in advance. I'm going to continue to try to help these people out, because after all, that's why I do this, because I'm professional. At the end of the day, you've heard me say this many times, I may have my disagreements with some talent. I may have some disagreements with other promotions in other areas, but at the end of the day, we're all professionals.
Yeah.
Now, and this act is completely inexcusable. I hope that come Monday morning, Mr. Greene is behind bars where he belongs. To confirm what Mr. Emerson said, it is true by many sources that Greene stole his mother's checkbook and wrote checks. I hope the bank is able to recoup her money for this. It's also been brought to my attention that his wife has also left in the midst of all this. You know, like I said, I saw some things not adding up with this myself. And that's why I officially issued a statement prior to the event going down that I was pulling out from being a vendor at this event. Like I said, that's how I had invested in it. I was going to go sell a few gimmicks myself. You know, I attended a lot of signings, a lot of conventions around the country. You know, and I was going to try to do my part. Well, like I said, I just felt something weird about it, something fishy to me, so I just said, you know what, I'm going to sit this one out. I informed Mr. Bill Eady that day that I made a decision, hey, you know, I'll catch up with you next time we do one of these. I'm sitting this one out. He told me he was still going to go regardless. He told me he respected my decision, and that was that. I am very relieved that I didn't go be a part of this because it would have been bad all around, and that's not what we're about.
Yeah.
I am very upset for the talent that got shafted, and I'm upset about the fans that didn't get what they were promised. You know, I'm upset about family members getting shafted. I mean, this whole thing is bad. And then you've got this Paul Lee guy. Let me get on this soapbox for just a minute.
Feel free to. I mean, just as much.
I will go ahead and say one good thing about Paul Lee. I heard he stayed and tried to help out at the show last night, which I commend him for. However, misrepresenting himself in his product sales, signing photos of Ric Flair, that's just inexcusable. Also, repackaging figures of Ric Flair with his picture and his name on it, that's fraud.
Yeah.
You know, it turned out that show was a lot of fraud, especially where not only the promoter was concerned, but he was concerned. Now, you know, like they say in the business, you know, everything's at work and blah, blah, blah. It's like, but there's a line. There's a line.
Yeah.
And to any of the fans that actually bought into that shit, I am sincerely sorry you got duped into that. But you paid for a Target exclusive Ric Flair figure with Paul Lee's name on it. That's terrible. And completely inexcusable. And the contact I have in mind that witnessed this taking place left the building so he, quote unquote, would not catch a police charge for knocking this motherfucker out where he sat.
Yeah. Damn. It was that bad?
And my friend, I applaud you for being the bigger man on this and walking away. And I also appreciate your account of the situation. You know, there are people saying I didn't have a dog in the fight and I shouldn't be reporting this. However, and like I said, there's two sides of this argument. Number one, I'm running a respectable promotion in the state of Georgia. When things like this happen, it hurts my business. It hurts everyone else's business, too, that runs nearby. Because now, the paying customers, even though we had nothing to do with this show, now they're going to group us all into one category. They do that here, as I'm sure they do in other areas of the country. It makes it harder for me and my counterparts that are doing the right thing to go out there and present an award-winning product and bring in the money that we go out there and strive so hard to bring. It's going to be very hard for us to convince the fan base that if we advertise any particular talent on our cars from here on out, that person A is going to be there, and B, everything is going to be as it said. I also got reports that some of the names that were at the show prior to everything going down, once they realized they weren't getting paid, they stopped signing items and refused anything else after that. I can see where they were pissed off. I can understand that, but understand that those people that were there paid under the pretenses that their items were going to be signed. So, like I said, it's a double-edged sword on this one, Cody.
Yeah.
A lot of bad shit. I see the numbers, week after week after week in this state dwindle because of shit like this. Although I personally do not attend every show, I do attend some, and I have valued resources that are at every other show, in case some of you didn't know that. The information I get is completely 100% reliable. These people report to me in an unbiased frame of mind. They have nothing to gain or lose from giving me the information. They're simply reporting to me what they see and what they've witnessed and what they've heard.
Yeah.
And these are people that I've known for most of my life, 30 or more years. So like I said, they'd have no reason to come back and basically give me false information.
Yeah, my God.
When a guy goes and spends half his paycheck, a guy I've known for 30 years goes and spends half his paycheck because he's excited about an event. This is one of these same guys that comes to every one of my events and spends top dollar. He goes to this event and he doesn't get half his stuff signed because they're pissed off. Rightfully so. It's not the Legends' fault, and it's not the fans' fault. It's that promoter's fault.
Yeah.
I hope when they find Greg Greene, they hit him with everything they can legally.
Yeah, they'll probably find him touching himself in some basement somewhere.
Well, like I said, if he tries to leave the jurisdiction of that area, the U.S. Marshals will eventually catch up to and detain him.
Yeah.
So he will not escape justice. He may for a short period of time, but rest assured, he will face justice for this. I can assure you of that.
Yeah. God damn, they're worse than American Championship Wrestling.
This is worse.
Yeah.
This is worse.
I mean, yeah, ACW didn't pay their workers, but they didn't commit fraud.
I mean, this is something that hurts all of us.
Yeah.
Then we're going to have Legends when another promoter approaches them. That Legend's going to be skeptical about coming down here.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard. It's going to be harder to book, the talent that people want to see now. They're going to be like, I don't know, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Or they're going to jack their prices up. I've seen it happen many times. Not to me personally, but to others. It really, a lot of us promoters out here, we're blue-collar American citizens who actually go out and work an honest job for an honest dime. And we try to give something back to the wrestling fans because, after all, everybody in this business started out a fan, no matter who you are. We all start out as a fan. It doesn't matter who you are. Or else we wouldn't be doing this. Wouldn't have attracted us to the dance.
Yeah. Damn.
And this isn't something that just affects Georgia. This affects the whole community because everybody knows about this, obviously. There's no secrets about this, the happenings of this at all, period. There's been multiple accounts from the Legends, the indie workers, the fans, and the community, the local community there, is frowning upon this badly.
Yeah. I can only imagine how badly this is going to affect you because you promote not just wrestling, but some of the more hardcore wrestling. And...
Well, even that, everybody also knows that I've been known to do legend signings.
Yeah.
You know, I've been a scholar of all genres of our sport for a long time.
Yeah, it's probably going to be even harder for you.
You know, there's going to be some decisions to make after all this for a lot of people. It's like, do we continue? As much as we love this, as much as we want to do this for the fans, as much as we want to make believers of people again, at the end of the day, is it going to be worth it? That's what we have to ask ourselves.
Yeah. Yikes. So, do you got any other things you would like to say about this? Any plugs? I know that Stranglehold Wrestling is doing that thing on TV Wednesday, right?
Well, we're not necessarily going to be on TV. Go on another radio station in another town from here to discuss a few topics, including this one. There's a few other topics I'm going to be addressing, so stay tuned on that.
Yeah.
I will continue to tell the fans out there, please support your local independent wrestling. You know, these guys, they travel for miles to entertain you as a living. A lot of them don't have blue-collar jobs. A lot of them, this is their bread and butter. So please, don't hold this incident over their heads. Please support them any way you can. To the legends of the business, any of you are listening, you know, on behalf of the rest of us in this business, I hope that we can all continue to be successful together. And there can be many more of these events to come that will be successful, where everyone gets paid and everybody has a good time and everybody gets what's promised. There are those of us that exist that still can and will deliver that. So please keep that in mind for all of you out there listening. And for all my brothers in the indie circuit, just keep on keeping on, keep doing the right thing, and keep being ambassador of the sport that you are. And know that I will defend each and every one of you tooth and nail to the core. And that's my promise to all of you. And that's all I've got tonight, Cody. Unless you have anything else you want to add?
I think that was about it. Good luck with Stranglehold Wrestling, and I hope it doesn't affect you that as negative as this situation has the potential to.
Well, I will promise you this. I will not give up the ship. Ship knows Stranglehold Wrestling will continue doing what we do best. That's entertainment the masses and bringing quality entertainment wherever we hang our banners. And that's a fact. And for any talent on my roster, you can guarantee that you can take my promise to the bank. And that's all I got.
Okay, yeah. So in closing, Dudleyville, Georgia, the apparently now the shadiest promotion in the world. Yikes. I hope they find that guy. He may be able to escape justice for now, but not for long. Continue to support your local independent wrestling, as Eric said, and don't hold this against anyone.